Long before digital cameras, cell phones, and computers, one Jewish organization not only helped develop Israel, it documented the land's history in pictures. As part of Israel's 74th year of independence, CBN News Middle East correspondent Julie Stahl takes a look back at the special effort to chronicle the Jewish state's story.
This may look like a storage room full of old files, although in reality it's a treasure trove providing a pictorial history of Israel.
We're at the heart of the archive, at the photo archive. This is the place where we can find printed photographs taken from early 20th century and all the way till the end of the printed material era.
Decades before the Jewish state's birth, Karen Kayemet Israel Jewish National Fund, or KKL-JNF, was breaking ground.
KKL-JNF is an organization that was established 120 years ago, aimed at purchasing land in Eretz Israel, right here in Israel, and also developing it, which means preparing the land after purchasing it for housing, building new communities, helping people get here so they can fully establish and inhabit these homes.
Efrat Sinai, head of KKL-JNF Photo Archive, says cameras have continued snapping history since the beginning.
KKL-JNF used to send photographers to different corners all over Israel so they can capture what is going on, the places that are being built and established, the faces of the pioneers, all that spirit of creating something new. And that's what created this unique and very important collection.
One of Sinai's favorites is this unique pose of David Ben-Gurion, Israel's first prime minister.
It's not something that we're used to seeing him with, with cool sunglasses. There's another picture, which I really like. David Ben-Gurion on the day of the Declaration of Independence, while he's still working out the draft of that declaration.
And a year later, on Israel's first birthday,
these are photographs from the very first year of the celebration in 1949. As you can see, bringing the Torah books. And what I wanted to show you was the military parades that were taking place in the big cities. We can see how everyone used to go out to the balconies and watch the parade. And you can also see the streets, the familiar streets of Jerusalem. This is King George Street, for example, taken in 1950.
And capturing Independence Day celebrations, picnics, and barbecues that go back decades. In addition to acquiring land, KKL-JNF prepared it for housing, built reservoirs, rehabbed rivers, and is probably best known for planting trees.
Here we have photographs taken in Martyrs Forest. This is a forest that was planted in the early 1950s. It has 6 million trees planted in to commemorate the 6 million Jews who perished in the Holocaust.
According to Sinai, it's estimated there were around 14,000 trees here when the Ottoman Turkish Empire ended more than 100 years ago.
Starting 1908, we started trying to plant trees here. And nowadays we're talking about over 240 million trees planted all over Israel.
There's also historic Jerusalem, overlooking the city from the Mount of Olives, the distribution of pasteurized milk to babies, the railway station from 1927, and the Western Wall in 1941, as well as photographs of Tiberias on the Sea of Galilee. Pioneers building agricultural communities called kibbutzim and moshavim, and glass plate negatives used before the gelatin kind.
So this was taken in 1924, and this is Tel Aviv. You can see the sand. So it really is a city that rose from the sands.
Throughout each year, KKL-JNF shares its historic highlights at exhibitions like this one in Jerusalem.
We're displaying photographs 2.5 meters wide, historical photographs of Jerusalem that were colorized.
The KKL-JNF says many times when we look at black and white photos, we tend to think the past was lived without color. But what they've done in this exhibit, they've used an innovative colorization technology along with research into the fashion and culture of the time to put color in the photos and breathe new life into history. An exhibition also took place recently at the International Expo in Dubai. Many of the photos are now digitized, and the archive can be viewed online in Hebrew and soon will be available in English. It currently has more than 1 million photos, and like the State of Israel itself, is still growing. Julie Stahl, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Alpha.